for B. All right. So, the main point focus is this keyword, find. Yes, that's the keyword. We know a few already, like calculate, determine, which is the ones you find most often. But sometimes it's written find. There's a very big difference when saying find, determine, or find and calculate, determine. These two technically mean the same thing. Most of the time you find determine when there is no unit. Yes? If there's no unit, no centimeter, decimeter, or dollars, they say determine. But when you see calculate, you have a specific unit. Find, on the other hand, means you have to find the answer, and it is not always accurate. It's not 100% always accurate. Same with statistics, it's between a certain measurement, between 3.1 and 3.3, it's not 100% always. So you receive a graph. Just to give an example, this, you've seen it in paper once, and they say, where is the intersection of line A and line B? Yes, they say find the coordinates of the intersection of line A and B. Yes, find. There's no calculations you have to do. You just have to state the answer. So you look in your graph. Oh, I see. -2, 4. -2, 4. Oh, this is one intersection. So the coordinate is -2, 4. Yes, fine. This is mainly chapter 19. Mainly, you look at how you can solve equations only by looking at them. Mostly this is for paper ones. Mostly. It's very difficult to find in paper twos, which it does happen, but not often, since it's only 1 point. So, chapter 19. Let's start with something we already know, and I'm gonna teach you how to draw graphs, linear equations, faster, extremely fast. You have a linear equation, so prepare to draw. Prepare to draw a graph. We have the line L. You're used to see it, y equals x plus 2. Right? You're used to seeing it like that. Let's switch it. This is the way y equals m x plus c. That's the way we're used to seeing it. You can rewrite it in which form? You can write it in the form of mx plus, and let's not use purple, by equals c. Yeah, you can change it of form. And when you draw it in the form of mx plus by equals c, you do not need to use a table anymore. It's not needed anymore. So, let's convert this line L from y equals mx plus c to mx plus by equals c. So the first step is to send the x to the left, and when it goes over the x, if it's positive, it turns into negative. So we have negative x. This is already positive. So it's positive y equals 2. Yes? Now, this is not a wrong answer. It is not wrong. In the majority of cases, we do not, in mathematics, they do not like a negative sign up front. So what do? You remove the negative. And how do you remove the negative? By multiplying with -1. So I'm multiplying with -1. And then I get to the answer of x minus y equals -2. That. X minus y equals -2. So, let's draw this line. I can draw this in less than 30 seconds. Remember, your answer, only using whole numbers. Only using whole numbers. Your answer has to always be what? -2. So, I draw a graph. Here it is. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4. All right. When my x value is 0, what is my y value? For my answer to be -2. Thomas says 2. My y value has to be 2. Yes? No? If my x is 0, where is my y value? For my answer to become -2. What is my value? My y value have to be 2? 2, correct. So, there it is, 2. When x is 0, y is 2. Done. When x is 1, what does y have to be in order for the answer to be -2? 1. If x is 1, what does my y have to be in order for my answer to be -2? 3, correct. There we go. 3. So you look at them individually. And you can then draw a straight line through those two. Oops. Pencil. And that's my line. No graph needed, no table needed, and it has been done in less than 2 seconds. Yes? Well, of course, me explaining it to you takes more time. So, before we continue, let's look at the table. Yes? Let's look at the table to see if what we've done is actually correct. Because x is 0. So create the table from 1 and 2 using this. See if these answers are correct. So what was the line? Y equals x plus 2. Yes, supposedly that's the line. X, y, 0 and 1. So if my x is 0, we're using this one. Y is what? Y is 2. Here we go. Y is 2. Is it correct? Oh, yes. Here it is. When x is 0, there it is. Y is 2. There it is. When x is 1, here we go. 1 plus 2 equals 3. There it is. There is 3. 3. So you don't have to create a table anymore to actually draw a graph. You can switch the way it is written, and then you just do it too simple. You place two simple numbers, you find x and you find y, and then that is the coordinate. It makes it a lot simpler and a lot faster to draw the graph. Yes, I find mx plus by equals c much faster than mx y equals mx plus c. In this case, it's an easy one. Let's try a more complex one. For example, y equals a half x plus 3. There we go. Now you have to draw this. Oh my God, draw a table and all of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is switch it in the form of mx plus by equals c. Then it becomes negative x plus y equals 3. A negative sign up front is not pretty. It's more complicated to use. So what do? I multiply with negative 1. Then we get half x minus y equals negative 3. But there is still something that makes it complicated. That half thing there, it's complicated. It bothers me. Correct. What do? You multiply it with 2.
It's 1.
You multiply with 2. So what does the equation become? X minus 2y equals negative 6. You change the graph completely. And mind you, the answers will be exactly the same. So let's draw this graph. Yes. What do you mean? I multiply with 2 to remove the negative. Sorry, to remove the half. Working with fractions is complicated.
So what you say extra prefix?
Yeah.
But somebody that do some put 1/5 plus 1/3, and go say 1/15, and go say 15, and the denominator is 15, and 12.9.
Whole numbers, yes.
Yes, what about let's say half, so about 0.1% wrong in the
This is a half. I'm gonna do another one with like 3/7, something like that. And then you'll see it will be much complicated. It's best to use whole numbers. No. If you want to use 4, you can use 4 as long as you don't have fractions. You can multiply with 10 if you want to. Yeah, it's up to you. Yes. B here. Here it's negative 1. Remember, if it's nothing, if there's no number in front of a variable, it's always 1. We just don't write it. Yes, here it's actually 1y. It's just not written. Because in the exams, you can get 2y. That's also possible. So, let's draw the graph of this particular linear equation, and then we will make the table of this, and you will see that we'll get to the same answers. So, graph. We use 0 and 1, just like the previous one. I use steps of, in the y-axis, steps of 2, 2, 4, 6, then you have 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. All right. So, if my x is 0, what does my y have to be in order for my answer to be negative 6? My y has to be 3, correct? So, here we go, 3. There it is, 3. My y has to be 3 when my x is 0. All right. If my x is 1, what does my y have to be in order for my answer to be negative 6? So you get something like this. 1 minus 2y equals negative 6. That's what you get. 1 minus 2y equals negative 6. What is y? Yes, you can do it the algebraic way if you still cannot do it without a calculator. Minus 2y equals negative, was it 7? And then y equals 2.5. 3.5, sorry. Yes? Y is 3.5. Yes. What do you mean?
There's nothing in front of the variable. If there's nothing in it, I was thinking it's 1.
No, I did x1. I said x is 1. I say x is 1. Because I want to draw the graph. You get this equation and they say draw the graph. I changed it into this formula. And then I say, okay, when x is 0, what does my y have to be for my answer to be negative 6? I multiply 2 with 3. If y is 3, 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Because my y is 3. So here it is, 3. And then I go, all right. So if my x is 1, and then I continue. If my x is 1, what does my y have to be for my answer to be negative 6? That's how I look at it. Yes?
If your answer is a fraction, you have to do
What? Here? Oh, you mean here?
no, but like when your answer is a fraction, you have to do it in a the one that,
In the mx plus b plus y?
no, in 1/2, do you have to add it 1/2, or you can also do 0.5?
Oh yes, you can use fractions. Yes, you can use 3.5. You mean here, like your answer? Yes, it can be 3.5. It's fine. I use fractions because it's precise. Let's say your answer is 3. Let's say this is your answer. You're not going to use fractions because this is precise. Sorry? The coordinates of x and y. When x is 0, y is 3. When x is 1, y equals 3.5. It's somewhere here, more or less. So you get a line doing what? Doing something like this. This is your line. More or less. Let's use, yes. If what? No, this one goes in your graph. Let's use this, the regular equation, and see that the answers are the same. X, Y, 0, 1. When x is 0, you have a half multiplied by 0 is 0, and then your answer is 3. There it is, 3. There's your answer, 3. 3. If my x is 1, 1 times a half is a half. Add 3, your answer is 3.5. There it is, 3.5. You just do it quicker. So your answer is 3.5. Yes? Easy peasy. The only thing you have to do is choose an x value or a y value, and then you find the x value. It's much faster than the original way, y equals mx plus c. It's much faster. Much faster. When we go to chapter 17, you will see, yes, when we go there, you will see, 17, 1-7. You will see that this is also a vector. And vectors you write differently. You write it like this. In the vector 1 minus 2. That is the vector. Yes? Vectors give direction and speed in aviation, and if you're on sea as well. They give degrees, angles, and much more. So, switching from linear equation from one to the other form helps you graph it, draw it quickly, without needing to draw a table first. Yes? All right. I have a few. We have a few minutes. I'll write two more, and then you draw 1. 2, and you draw 1. Look. Y equals. And then you have to draw the second one. Draw the first one, make the first one in mx plus c, mx plus by equals c, and the second one, draw it. And the first step is to turn it into mx plus by equals c. Yes, all of them have to become mx plus by equals c. All of them have to be Doesn't matter. The first one, you get 3x plus y equals 5. It stays like that. No need to change it. That's it. No need to change it. That's it. The second one, a fourth goes up front, so you have negative a fourth, x plus 2y equals 3. The negative and the fraction is not pretty, so we multiply with negative 4. So what do you get? X minus 8y equals negative 12. And then you have to draw it. Before I even start, I'm just gonna do 0 by curiosity. 0, 12. And in this particular case, using fractions is not really handy. So what do? Instead of starting with x, I can start with y. Why not? Who said I can't? I'll make y 0. Y is 0. So something subtract 0 equals negative 12. And my x value equals negative 12. So at negative 12, when my x value is negative 12, what is my y? My y is 0. So that's a coordinate. Negative 12, 0. You don't have to start with x. You can start with y. You have to make it as easy as possible for yourself. Yes, I place y is 0. Yes, there it is, y is 0. And I search for my x value. Well, my x value is negative 12. Negative 12 subtract 0 is negative 12. So my x is negative 12 and my y is 0. Negative 12, 0. All right, I need to find my second coordinate and I don't want to use fractions. 1.5, 1/3. I don't want to use that. So I stick to whole numbers. All right. I'll place y. What is an easy thing to do? Y is 1. So what do I have? Something subtract 8 has to be negative 12. Yes, something subtract 8 has to be negative 12. So what do? X equals negative 12 plus 8. So x has to equal negative 4. So when my when my y is 1, my x is what? Negative 4. So, let's place negative 4. Let's see, I'll use steps of 4. Do we get there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 by 4, 5 by 3. Let's do negative 4 here. No, the 4 has to be the second one. So 2 steps of 4 is negative 8. I drew it not so precise. Let me do this, do that. Place negative 12 here, and then negative 4 goes here. Set that as 0. Steps of 2. So when my y value is 1, my x value is negative 4. So here, there is my coordinate. Here. So what does my line look like? This. Can we turn it? There we go. That is what my line looks like. It makes drawing graphs a lot easier and a lot faster. Yes? Changing the way a linear equation is written. Yes? We shall continue next week. What, we have tomorrow as well? Oh yes, tomorrow and Friday. Yes, we shall continue tomorrow, and then we will delve into 19, because this is something you need to know. You need to know this.